subscribe channel, like and comment video.
The Golden Thread Spinner. In a quiet village surrounded by wheat fields and whispering willows, there lived a poor miller named Thomas and his daughter, Lily. Thomas was a kind man but had one terrible flaw: he loved to boast. He would turn the smallest truth into the grandest tale, claiming his mill produced the finest flour in 10 kingdoms, or that his daughter could outweave any seamstress in the land. One fateful spring day, the royal carriage rolled through the village square. King Edmund, known for his love of wealth and splendor, had stopped to water his horses. Seeing an opportunity, Thomas rushed forward and bowed deeply. "Your Majesty, what fortune brings you to our humble village?" Thomas exclaimed. "If only you knew of the extraordinary talent that dwells here. My daughter Lily can spin common straw into pure, gleaming gold." The villagers gasped. Lily, standing nearby with a basket of bread, felt her heart sink into her shoes. "Father, no," she whispered urgently, but it was too late. The king's eyes lit with interest. His treasury had been drained by expensive wars and lavish banquets, and here was a chance to refill it. "Truly remarkable," he said smoothly. "Then she must come to the palace immediately. If she possesses such a gift, she should use it in service to the crown." Before Lily could protest, the royal guards escorted her into the carriage. She looked back at her father, who waved cheerfully, completely unaware of the danger he'd placed her in. At the castle, the king led Lily to a cold stone chamber filled from floor to ceiling with bundles of straw. A single spinning wheel sat in the corner, and one small candle provided the only light. "Spin all of this into gold by sunrise," the king commanded, his voice allowing no argument. "If you succeed, you shall be richly rewarded. If you fail..." He let the threat hang in the air like a dark cloud. The heavy door slammed shut, and Lily heard the key turn in the lock. Lily sank to the floor, tears spilling down her cheeks. How could father say such a thing? "I cannot perform magic. I'm just a miller's daughter." She tried the spinning wheel, but of course, the straw remained straw dry, golden stalks that mocked her with their ordinariness. As the moon rose high, a curious tapping sound came from the narrow window. Lily looked up to see a strange little man perched on the windowsill. He was no taller than a cat, with a long pointed beard, twinkling black eyes, and a coat that seemed to shimmer with starlight. "Why do you weep, young maiden?" he asked in a voice like rustling leaves. "The king demands I spin this straw into gold, but it's impossible. I have no such power." Lily sobbed. The little man hopped down into the room, circling the spinning wheel with interest. "Impossible? That's a strong word. Nothing is impossible. Everything has its price. What will you give me if I spin this straw into gold for you?" Lily touched the simple ribbon around her neck, a blue silk ribbon her mother had given her before she died. It was her only treasure. "This ribbon," she said reluctantly. "It's all I have." The little man snatched it with glee, tying it around his own neck like a trophy. He sat at the spinning wheel, and his fingers became a blur of motion. The wheel whirred faster than seemed natural, humming with an eerie melody. Straw went in, and impossibly, golden thread came out, piling higher and higher. By dawn, the entire room glittered with spools of pure gold. The king was astonished. His greedy heart pounded with excitement. But instead of rewarding Lily, he led her to an even larger chamber, filled with twice as much straw. "Spin this as well by tomorrow morning, and I shall make you a lady of the court." That night, the mysterious stranger returned. "What will you give me this time?" he asked, already knowing she had nothing. Lily offered the only other thing she possessed, a small silver ring that had belonged to her grandmother. The little man accepted it, and once again worked his impossible magic. By morning, mountains of golden thread filled the second chamber. The king could barely contain his excitement. He showed Lily to the largest room in the entire castle, overflowing with straw from wall to wall. "Spin this into gold," he declared, "and I shall make you my queen. You shall want for nothing, and your father shall be elevated to nobility." When the strange little man appeared the third night, Lily stood before him with empty hands. "I have nothing left to give you, no jewels, no treasures, nothing." The little man's smile grew wide and unsettling. "Then make me a promise. When you become queen, give me your firstborn child." Lily's blood ran cold. "My child? I cannot promise such a thing." "Can you not?" the little man asked softly. "What choice do you have? The king will surely punish you if you fail. Besides, who knows if you'll even have a child? It may never come to pass. But if you refuse, you'll certainly face the king's wrath tomorrow." Desperate and terrified, Lily agreed. The little man spun through the night, creating a treasury of gold that surpassed the king's wildest dreams. True to his word, King Edmund married Lily, making her his queen. The castle celebrated for days. Lily tried to be happy, tried to forget the bargain she'd made. A year passed peacefully, and she gave birth to a perfect baby girl with eyes like sapphires and hair like spun gold. Lily had almost convinced herself the strange little man was just a dreamer until one moonless night, he appeared beside the cradle. "I've come to collect what you promised," he said quietly, reaching toward the sleeping infant. "No!" Lily threw herself between the little man and her child. "Please, I beg you. Take anything else, gold, jewels, the crown itself, but not my baby. A mother's love is worth more than any magic." The little man paused. For a long moment, he studied the queen's tear-stained face, and something shifted in his expression. Perhaps he saw genuine love for the first time, or perhaps he remembered what it was like to be alone in the world. "Very well," he said finally. "I'll give you one chance to keep your child. You have 3 nights to guess my name. If you discover it, the bargain is broken. If you fail, the child comes with me." For 2 nights, Lily guessed every name she could think of or find in books: Balthasar, Cornelius, Maximilian, Zacharias. She sent messengers throughout the kingdom to collect unusual names. But each night, the little man only laughed and said, "That's not my name." On the 3rd day, one messenger returned from the deepest part of the forest with a peculiar tale. "Your Majesty, I was lost among the ancient oaks when I saw firelight. I crept closer and saw a little man dancing around the flames, singing, "Today I brew, tomorrow I bake, the next the queen's own child I'll take. How glad I am that no one knows. My name is Rumpelstiltskin, as the wind blows." That final night, when the little man appeared, Lily pretended uncertainty. "Is your name Conrad?" "No." "Perhaps Dietrich?" "No." "You'll never guess." Lily took a breath. "Then might your name be Rumpelstiltskin?" The little man's face transformed with shock and rage. "Some devil told you." "Some witch revealed my secret." In his fury, he stamped his right foot so hard it broke through the floor. Then, grasping his left foot in both hands, he pulled himself completely in two and vanished in a cloud of bitter smoke. Lily held her baby daughter close, whispering thanks to the brave messenger. She vowed never to make rash promises again, no matter how desperate the situation. Years later, she ruled wisely alongside the king, who had learned that true wealth lay not in gold, but in family, wisdom, and keeping one's word. And in the village mill, Thomas learned to speak only truth, for he had nearly cost his daughter everything with his careless boasting.